Here's the things we as a team are going to care about deeply. Because when we show up and serve, people's lives change. If they're willing to do the work, the lives change. Hey everybody, welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined as always by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. Emily Grace Deal? You're going to take us back to middle school today, aren't you?
Yes.
Maybe not all of our middle school experiences, but most of our middle school.
Well, I think it's pretty well known that back when you're kind of younger, a teenager, middle school, high school age, that it wasn't cool to care, right?
Absolutely.
It wasn't the thing to do,
cool.
right?
Yes.
Raising your hand to participate meant that you weren't being cool. And surely we've gotten past this. Surely this isn't still something that's holding adult teams back.
You would like to think. The reality is, and again, maybe everybody's middle school experience is different, I don't know, but the reality is for most teenagers, it's not cool to be engaged with the work. It's not cool to care. And I am genuinely amazed how often I see this in professional teams with groups of adults, where it is they're almost in a race to be the most disengaged, to care the least about whatever it is being done, right? And I'm really surprised I see that. And I see it across all types of different industries. Everybody is still deeply worried about, what do others think of me? Do they think
how
I'm
am I
cool?
perceived?
Do they think I'm a nerd? Yeah. We all wrestle with that at some level, but that is really predominant in a lot of groups still. And again, it's one of those things we look at and think, well, we got that figured out. No, we really didn't. And I think this really matters when we think about this from a leadership perspective, because it's really kind of a cynical way of seeing the world, right? And so if your organization is full of people that are in a race to be the least engaged, there is no way that is good for the organization. If they're in the race to be the least caring about what we're doing, like, that's not good.
It seems obvious until you're sat in a room full of people, or sitting in the room full of people, and you're like,
it does.
Who's going to raise their hand first? Well, not me. Like, I'm not going to be the one that says it. Like,
exactly. And it leads to this cynicism and this sarcasm that just kind of drains possibility. And so as leaders, like, we really do have to create a culture where being engaged actually is really cool. That is the thing to do. That is the culture, is being engaged, being excited about the work.
Otherwise, you're like in a race to get the least amount of it out of any experience. Like, if you have questions, ask questions. Like, if you want to clap or cheer for something, do it. Like, if you are excited, you can express that, and that's it's okay.
and it really does. What's interesting is the teams I witnessed this on are ones where no leader has ever come in and created something that wasn't high school. Mm-hmm. They're still creating popularity contests. They're still creating fear that it's not okay to be vulnerable and be yourself. And again, we talk about vulnerability all the time and the benefits of it. This is really like when you are vulnerable, when you open up, it allows your teams to open up. And when you can create that psychological safety, it is okay for them to say, I'm really excited to be here. I really do care.
Yeah, well, caring, and I also like the idea where we talk about, like, making a safe space to ask questions.
Yes.
That's part of it, too. I mean, raising your hand if you have a question, or say, I want more information on this, then that's okay space to do that. Like, you're allowed to not know, and you're allowed to ask questions.
Yes. And I think as leaders, showing that engagement ourselves, talking about, and we had an episode a while back where we talked about love, right? Showing that it's okay to care deeply about our purpose, about the things we do, about the impact that we have, to really take it seriously and be excited about it. Like, you have to lead the way in demonstrating that it really is cool to care. And listen, I'm a cynical, sarcastic person. Like, that is most of what comes out of my mouth. But not when I talk about our work, not when I talk about our clients, not when I talk about the impact we want to have over the next decades. I am really excited about that, and I'm serious about that.
Yeah. It's not cheesy. I mean, it is cheesy, but it's not cheesy.
Oh, it's cheesy. But it's cheesy but vital.
Good thing we
right?
like cheese.
That's fair. It's even, as we were talking about this, we were kicking around titles, and it says, it's cool to care. And I'm like, if you got to say it's cool to care, like, is it really cool? But to be honest, like, there's a sincerity, right? To, no, there are things I do care. Like, we're going to have fun. We're going to be sarcastic. We're going to be cynical about things. Here's the things we're not. Here's the things we, as a team, are going to care about deeply. Because when we show up and serve, people's lives change. If they're willing to do the work, the lives change. that matters. That is worth being excited about. That's worth being really, really engaged on. And so I think there's something to this.
Totally.
We need to make sure we're creating that. Leaders, next steps. I want you to think about your team. Do you have some that are disengaged, that are they are really in a race to see who cares the least and who's disengaged the most? If you encounter that in some of your teams or some of the groups you work with in your organization, you need to stop and understand, A, they're really still in middle school mode. Like, it happens all the time with adults. They need a leader to both create space that is safe for them to express themselves, and then also set the example that certain things, it is really cool to care, that we are going to be deeply engaged and deeply excited about this category that really matters. And really that's centered on your purpose, your impact, the people whose lives are better because you show up. It is cool to care. It is cool to be engaged. I understand this is also coming from one of the least cool people on the planet.
I don't think that's
acknowledge
true.
that, but it's cool to care. It really makes a difference for your teams and in your leadership. Emily, if people want to send us questions, if they want to send us notes that say they think we're cool as well, where would they send that to?
lab@forwardpartners.net.
lab@forwardpartners.net. If they want to find us online, we are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, where we're always putting out content about leadership. Where do they find that?
@forwardpartner.
@forwardpartner. Thank you for doing this podcast.
Thank you.
John, thank you for producing, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please share this with fellow leaders. Show them that it's cool to care. We will see you next time right here in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.